Uh, uh, Welcome to Shyzalosophy 101. Here's your host, Shyzabots. They love me. Get out of here. And the horse you rode in on. Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to that of us doing what we do. You might be saying, stop doing it. Can't. Already doing it. And believe you me, if we could stop, we probably wouldn't, because that would mean that, well, unfortunately, things didn't go our way. And if there's one thing that we like, it's when everything goes our way. So believe you me, can't stop, won't stop. We heard it somewhere. Want to say it might have been a song, but it's really a mantra. And depending on your own personal philosophy, everyone has one, with which they adhere to it or subscribe to, whether they know it or not. Well, unless they're kind of, I guess, sentient kind of android or robotronic kind of thing or something like that, which it could be around. You never know. All sorts of crazy, ancient, old, animatronics that were made out of things like wood, things like that operated off of steam. Some crazy, crazy old stuff, okay? They're, definitely even portrayed in video games as of late and recent. Some very interesting overlapping correlations with some of these ancient automatrons and things of that nature that, you go into ancient city X, Y, or Z and video game A, B, or C, and, you just run into all of this kind of overlapping historical references that, believe it or not, are actually rooted in some historical accuracy and fact as far as to the accountings of and, the existence of what is there. But that's neither here nor there. What brings us to today is, alas, we're drinking our Go Juice. And it's our last cup of the morning before it reads, kind of into the afternoon of the day, in which we will need a different variety of Go Juice. Okay? The one where it's past noon. Something like that. Doesn't matter. What does matter is that we are here, we are present, and we continue to peddle our wares, as we said that we would. Believe you me, stop doing it, you might say in the background. But, alas, we get our Go Juice. We clock in when we get to work. Oh, that reminds us, we didn't clock in. Might want to call the booth. Hey, management, we didn't clock in. Fix that. Excellent. Now, they love when they have to go behind us and do stuff. So anyhow, brings us to where we are today, which is, just kind of going through the rigmarole and routine. You might be saying, well, stop doing it here. This is the internet. No. What better place to do it than to, kind of permeate and resonate throughout the airwaves of that which people accidentally click on and then end up watching because they're doing dishes or tied up doing other things that they can't stop the stream, and they're like, oh man, I didn't mean to click on this. All right, it happens. So lo and behold, that's why we just kind of keep going. Okay, we've set out an endeavor, it fails, we pivot, we move, we go forward, we do, until we can do not, which really is just life in general. Sometimes things go your way. Sometimes they don't go your way. Sometimes they go your way. So, it goes all the way in a whole round circle. But you might be saying, well, everyone knows this. Well, everyone doesn't know this. All those people who things don't go their way for, believe you me, you and the rest of us that likely wake up in the morning and think, how can we make this one individual's life all the worse? Okay, and we plot it out and plan it the night before, of course, stay up, thinking for hours and hours upon hours on end of how we can make this one individual's life miserable, right? And then, lo and behold, after we spend all of our waking moments doing such, we proceed to do that of which, pertains to our own basic needs. Eat, sleep, interact with that of family, continue relationships, the symbiotic things, that of nature, of course. So you do that, right? And it goes great, and you're having a blast. And then lo and behold, good thing you put in all that work thinking of how to make someone else's life miserable, because somehow it's your fault that their life sucks, right? So, internet, that's where we have to come and kind of lay it on you. I'm sorry, internet. We got to lay it on you pretty heavy. And believe you me, you'll probably like it. That's right. Because it has to deal with our just kind of overall arching failures and things of that nature. Hey! Jerks. Okay, fine, laugh it up, you might say. That wasn't us. This is stupid. Okay, that very well may be. But what it is content. Okay, you might be saying, you tricked us, you made us watch it. No, you clicked on it yourself. What TF? Well, WTF, hello, and nice to see you. Thank you for the comment. WTF, yes. Excellent. We don't know what that is, but if we could continue talking about our epic failures. Oh, come on. They're about us. Oh, that's fine. Hi. Yes, hello, hi. Thank you for the ones of comment. Excellent. So, as we were talking about us, it was about our failures. Yeah. All right. Okay, you're with us. Good. Our first Kickstarter failed. Yes. Because we asked for a little too much money. Okay, now that's our own fault. We shouldn't have set our lofty goals so high as to have asked in our Kickstarter for $499. Okay, we get it, internet. We get it. That was too much. We need to... Hi. Yes, hello and hi to the Plumber Girls and the Sigma of the Cats and the WTFs of the Shahararad. Excellent. As we were saying, our failures... Yes, okay. Yes, we've gotten to that part. Our failures resulted in our Kickstarter failing. Okay? Well, the first one. Because believe you me, we're back with a vengeance. So much back with the vengeance. Exactly. We couldn't have said that better ourselves, Sigma Cat. Yes. So much back with the vengeance that we had to just clean the air around us. And believe you me, we did that. Takes 3 times. Excellent. And once you clean the air around you, you commence to pivot and go forward. So. Excellent. Yes, thank you for the comment. You end up setting your goals lower, okay? You shoot for a 10. You don't hit a 10. You go with whatever you can get, okay? Now, believe you me, you might be saying, it's still too much. You're asking too much, okay? Well, that's why we offer a variety with which too much to peddle our wares, okay? There's too much to not want to buy. Ha. Yes, ha. We win in the end, internet, because the wares with which we peddle exist. They're on Amazon.of-the-coms. You can go to it and even buy them, because they're on Amazon of the .coms. So yes, Sigma Cat, excellent. Thank you for pointing out our nefarious laughter with which we nefariously laugh when we need to. Because, we just do. Yes, excellent. That's because we know our place, internet. We know that you didn't want us to succeed and raise $499. Too lofty of a goal. Not worth it for our literary works, okay? That's asking a little too much. Laugh it up. Yes. That's why we got another Kickstarter. We gotta live somehow. That's fine. That's fine. Hold on. Management's calling. They think they know how to run the place. What do you want? We're on time. We're doing the show. Well, we're trying to peddle the wares. They keep laughing at us. At our failures. Uh-huh. Well, that's not our fault. That's your fault. Nah, you should have marketed us better. Excellent. Well, as management usually lives with their regret and contractual obligations with which they've signed, that's up to legal to discern. The point is that we're back and we have another Kickstarter with which we have lowered our expectations and goals because asking to sell 10 copies of our book was obviously a little too much. Too lofty of a goal, you might say. Me, Dylan, in the spirit of cash, did you get the haircut, Kid Rock? Well, I don't know you, Dylan, in the spirit of cash, if you got the haircut from Kid Rock. But if that dude's cutting hairs, that means that his music must really have gotten horrible over the years. But, believe you me, if there's one thing that it could have already been, it's horrible. Ah, excellent. Yes, now, believe you me, we're not saying that it isn't horrible. Hey, but it's Kid Rock, and he's got his fans out there. What we have is the books that we wrote. We can't just talk about Kid Rock all day. We need to peddle our wares. We even have custom 3D printed buttons you can add to the Kickstarter signed copy you can get. You know? You don't have to keep the book to keep the custom 3D printed button. You can give the book away. See? Perfect. Smiley, smiley face, smiley face. What's your box about? Well, our box is our business, but believe you me, there's one thing we like talking about, it's our genitals on stream. So, you want to know what our box is about? Come here, we'll tell. Oh, book. Oh, that was a close one. Oh, book. That was a close one. We were about to reveal a little too much intimate details, that of which you weren't asking about. Or, you know, whatever. So we won't talk about our genitalia. And the show goes on. Whatever. Anyhow, our book. Well, the one book that we have available on the Kickstarter, the signed copy that you can get the optional custom 3D printed button with, this is a monographing of a term called lectin. Okay? Now, lectin is a dead-end term that, old philosophers that ended up dying like hundreds and hundreds of years ago, okay? Like before Socrates and Plato and Aristotle, before all those dudes, they were utilizing stuff and got lost through times. We had to refinish their work because they died like a bunch of assholes, right? Okay, so that's the main work part that we did, but we also offer a variety of other wares that we peddle because we know not everyone likes philosophy, especially advanced meta-philosophy, okay? Do you even philosophy, bro? A lot of people don't. So that's why we had to write a quick note series for everyone who might, just genuinely need a stocking stuffer, a gift, or something they can give a loved one, a friend, a family member. There's a variety of them. They're very cute little books. You can rip out pages of them, slide notes into people's pockets, lunch boxes. Yeah. Okay, and there's some for every type of occasion, or we try to fit in. There's more to come. There's 6 available now. You can get them all on Amazon. We know that we don't want to just blanketedly have people give us money. Hey, now, don't get us wrong. We want people to blanketedly give us money, but we need a reciprocal exchange now. We wouldn't feel honest about ourselves if we didn't give something in return, so we wrote a bunch of crap. We also have a bunch of, kind of theological kind of aspects and components to some works because, we just do. We did a lot of, philosophy of religion, stuff like that, reading, old ancient, books, manuscripts, forbidden biblical texts, things of that nature, the Bible itself, we read all that stuff. And so we wrote a little kind of volume 1 monographing of Shyzalosophy as well. Now, this is not for everyone, okay? This is available technically on Amazon, but Amazon doesn't really like it, okay? We can't do anything with this. We can't edit it. We can't get our author copies. We can't do anything with it, but it is available. It's Extreme Fire and Brimstone, okay? Not for everyone at all. All right, this one is, Lines of Change, Line in the Sand. And as with all of our works, of course, being self-published, you got to kind of do the whole rigmarole yourself. So, with all of our works, even stuff like, Bless Me, Father, for All Sin, okay? Another kind of theological kind of work. This one not as Fire and Brimstone. This one more kind of personal, kind of self-fulfillment, short read. Inherently doing everything yourself, the writing, the proofreading, the, layout, the design, the, cover, the imaging, everything, okay? You end up running into what we call errors, okay? Now, you might be saying, your whole thing's an error. Yes. Very true, very true. But, it's almost like a game with some of our works. You go through them, and how many typos can you find? Because, believe you me, we go through some of it, and it's like, how did we miss that when we were the only one who proofread that thing 3 times, and now all of a sudden something is there. So we fix it, and, future iterations and updates and things of that nature and whatnot. But they're all available on Amazon should you want to, check it out. The Ground Up has made an appearance. Excellent, perfect. Spirit of Cash, we'll get to that next. Well, excellent. We'll get to all sorts of stuff next, but that sounds like what we'll get to when we get to it. So, let's continue reading this Ones of Comment. Sounds interesting, I guess. I like hunting and fishing better than reading. Maybe I'll get it for my dad. Well, excellent. You know what? If there's one thing that you would love while you're hunting and fishing, it's one of these custom 3D printed buttons that makes a clicking sound. Shh. Okay? Now, maybe a deer goes behind a tree, right? And you're like, hey, Bambi, trying to get a clean shot here. Now, he turns his head, click, clack. Okay? Now, we're not saying that everyone doesn't have their own choice in what they pursue in their own endeavors, okay? As long as you're making use of that of which you take from the earth, then do as you will. But yeah, you get the button, you keep it for yourself, bam, hunting season's a huge success for you. You procure food for the fam for, the next year, right? Off of a nice little, symbiotic exchange, okay? With you and nature itself, with which provides. Okay, now, with that being the case, you get your dad, the advanced signed copy of some meta-philosophy. He won't know what the hell he's reading. He'll be like, oh, thanks. And be like, yeah, the author even signed it. And I even, for, $3 plus $1 shipping and handling, because why not? It's the internet. So for $4, you can even get a custom poem written in it, right? Bam! You might be saying, well, who writes it? Someone good? No, us. Okay? Well, we wrote the book too. You get what you get, internet. That's right. So that's why we had to reformat, in essence, the whole pricing structure. We used to have it just blanketedly combo deal. You got them both. Now it's an additional add-on. So get it for, the pops. Get the button for yourself. Gift them this. Blow. No, whatever. Or maybe he needs some fire and brimstone because he's been, he grew up drinking and beating you every night. I don't know. You're like, here, read this. Seek forgiveness for your wrongs. Or rights. I don't know. Maybe you deserved it. Yeah, hold on. Whoa. Whoa. What kind of show is this? Cleanse the air. Takes 3. Excellent. All right, then. What have we missed? You're funny. I'll subscribe. You'll regret. Excellent. Well, that's on you. Excellent. No, we need the subscribifications because guess what? If people don't buy our crap, believe you me, we keep putting it out there. If people won't buy our crap, then we're going to need to trick YouTube into giving us fractions of cents at a time as well. That's right. That's right. That way, we're taking corporate's money, okay? and not that of your own. Okay, you might be saying, well, that's a way better deal. Yeah, I'll just hit that little subscribe button. Okay, now, believe you me, we would rather you... Well, that's fine. Do whatever you feel like, okay? Not everyone's going to want to buy this crap, okay? We sell crap. It's a way to, help the channel. I guess subscriptions help too. We don't usually ask for those because, money's better, but, people don't like just coming off that willy-nilly like. That's why we had to, make crap to sell. That's why we did, the whole Kickstarter thing. You might be saying, well, we wish you didn't. No, but that's because this will never be paywalled, ever. Show will never be paywalled, and we'll never beg for the subscription of which we go through and make a bunch of fake accounts and subscribe to ourselves anyway, because, obviously, we're trying to get YouTube's money as well. And we want everyone's money, in essence. Now, if you don't have it, we don't want it, ironically. And if you know anyone who needs it more than that of ourselves, we also don't want it. Which kind of kicks our model in its own, kind of teeth, because... in a way, we need money, but see, we don't really like money. That's the thing. Don't get us wrong. We like the idea of what money does, but for us, money's a construct, okay? Because it is. Bitcoin's a construct. It's all just as valuable as people put the value within it, that the value lies, okay? There is more food value in food than there is food value in money, okay? Now, what do we mean by that? Well, go out to the middle of nowhere, bring with you a $5 bill and an apple. Sit in the middle of nowhere, no shade, no, anything to prevent the weather from getting to you. Just stand in the middle of anywhere, the woods, a desert, a field, for hours and hours on end, and see which one you want more. The apple or the $5? No, I don't know. Did you answer? Let's check. Yo, the big JC's in the house. That's right. Excellent. No, the big JC, we were just talking about someone eating a $5 bill. It's pretty crazy what people see on the internet and what the internet people do for a laugh. That's right. Bon appetit, $5. No, hold on. That's not what we were doing. Start over. Cleanse the air. Takes 3. Excellent. The big JC. We got $5. No one gave it to us. No, it's our allowance. We gave it to ourselves when we raided our mom's purse upstairs. Don't tell her she's at her second job. Excellent. All right, where were we? I love food. Excellent. I love food as well. We all love food. That's why we love your job the most from the ground up, because, believe you me, we see the deliciousness of which you doth provideth the community aroundeth. Everyone should buy stuff fresh and locally sourced, because, believe you me, it's fresh and locally sourced. Excellent. Eat the apple, then wipe the $5. That's right. Then wipe with the $5. Oh, yes, you eat the apple. No. Well, then we don't want to get too philosophical, the big JC, okay? Because we know that of which we're well capable of getting into. But yes, we eat the apple, and then we plant the seeds. That's right. For future generations. Now, we might be saying maybe that future generation is us if we come back by that spot, 15 years from then. But by then, we're hoping to have sold a hell of a lot more damn books to get us out of our mom's basement. So, are we, banking on now the cost of which we have lowered because we decombined our combo meal? People don't want combo meals now. We want a la carte. Fine, a la carte internet. That is what you get. No longer do we seek the exorbitant amount of $499. Oh, sorry. We saw these other assholes writing books wanting 10 grand. We were like, surely we can get 499 books, and ours is already done. Well, you get it pretty much right away. Well, no. Let's kickstart this other dude 10 grand to write some crap. We write crap all the time. You know, I mean, go to Amazon, Shyzalosophy books. They're there. And on Kickstarter. This one is, you can get a sign, you can buy a button, custom 3D printed, blah, blah, blah. Great for hunting or something. I don't know. Anyhow, yes, so you plant the seeds. Like we said, we didn't want to get too philosophical, but yes, you plant the seeds, maybe to return upon which to enjoy more delicious apples. Now, if the apple sucked, grind those seeds up and spit them the fuck out. You're not going to want to plant those trees, because believe you me, they will take root and they could be poisoned apples. If you had a poisoned apple with you in the middle of nowhere, you're better off eating that $5. Who knows what kind of bacteria is growing on it that with which could sustain you for, at least the duration of being rescued or something. I don't know. But that's beside the point. What you need to do is just kind of be sure that you answer that question for yourself. What do you deem more important? Okay? Now, for us, we're a starving artist, right? Everyone's a starving artist. Everyone does their thing. Everyone, writes a book, writes a song, writes a poem, takes on an endeavor, okay? There's a difference between being a starving artist who's hungry and a starving artist who's starving, okay? Take care of yourselves first. Take care of those who need it, more than us next. Take care of anyone else that you may like or love more than us. Unlikely, but maybe. That you like or love more than us next, okay? And then anything you got left over, send our way. Blood out. We sell this, we sell this, we sell this, and lots of things. Okay, not lots of things, lots of books. We hate books. We hunt and play games. Now, we don't know how to make those things. Talk to Del Mari Games. They got a new one coming out. Get hired as a professor at college. Make all your students buy all your books. Charge them 1,000% for the books. Bask in your glory. Excellent, the big JC, yes! Your philosophy is unarguably sound in this regard. We should, therefore, raise the price to $499 of the dollars per copy. Teach at an institution of which you already have to pay to which you go to. And then sign up for us to teach you such. Man, that's even better. See, and that's why we had to monograph this on our own. If we wanted a cosmological philosophy degree, which is something we do in all free time, right? You might be saying boring, right? Okay, whatever. You play games, you read books, you do, whatever. You have social relationships with people. Okay, whatever your choice may be. You take it upon yourself to decide with which, kind of what to do. And we decided that it's not worth spending $250,000 to move across country, apply to a college, one of which offers a doctorate degree in cosmological philosophy, with which to then go and have someone teach us the fucking book that we wrote. It doesn't make sense. It's illogical. As philosophers, we refuse, and it makes it more challenging for us because just like Amazon don't really like our Fire and Brimstone book so much, academia don't like people doing stuff that academia don't appreciate or like, right? Academia said for the article's worth of length that this should be, we need to pay $5,000 or $6,000 after bouncing it off all of our peers who don't exist, right? Because cosmological philosophy is not a thing anymore, okay, since the 1960s or 70s. Now, yes, there's one little school out in California. Who wants to go there? Nobody. Yes, that is funny. Laughter is well warranted. We're not going to move to California to go pursue a made-up piece of paper degree in some made-up stuff that we can make up and do on our own. So that's what we did. And it's a harder uphill battle, but believe you me, philosophically, it is the most logical, well-reasoned out, and thought-out maneuver with which to embark upon. And you might be saying, well, good luck, you're going to fail. That's fine. We'll fail. Again and again and again. Because the work is done. It's not a failure if the work's done. That's right. Can't get rid of us that easy, internet. The work is done. You can't unmonograph that of which we have monographed, okay? If you want to study ancient archaic philosophy, academia, and you want to say that our monographing of lectin is incorrect or wrong, which doesn't exist until now, it does, then you got to read our shit. And you got to tell us why we're wrong when we've come up with viable lecta, okay? 2 of them, with which we have produced a viable working testable hypothesis and plausible testable working theory, okay? That can be tested currently by today's means, all right? So we're not going to spend $250,000, okay, to go and have people tell us that of which we already know, that we wrote the book on, literally. That's foolish, that's ridiculous, and if anything, it sounds like something that academically would be agreed upon by all of academics to not be the way to go, that you should spend $250,000 go to pay that of which for someone to disseminate that of which is not their original work or intent thereof to disseminate. But anyhow, that's our view on it, which, thing. So the big JC, yes, excellent point. We could definitely cash in on different aspects of that. Yes, we can hear all of the cash adding up now as we sell ones and more copies to our students at exorbitant 1,000% marked up rates. But alas, that's not the case now. You can get it for like $13 and then, shipping and handling on that, but it goes towards packaging and stuff too or whatever. So, if it comes in, it's like, oh, it goes $5 to ship and handle, but he wanted $6. The envelope, okay. Tape isn't free. Unless you get it for free, obviously. Cost someone somewhere. Anyhow, what were we doing? Oh, yes, drinking our goat juice and then trying to get out of here. We keep getting distracted by work, right? That's right. No one wants to work. Except those that love to work. That's right. So, let us cleanse the air one more time. Recenter ourselves. Deep breaths this time. Let's not rush it. We're trying to, just milk this. Let's get to at least 35 minutes before we, end the stream. Excellent. All right. Everyone should feel centered. Good. So, where were we? Ah, yes. So we got another Kickstarter up, and obviously now it's the signed copy of the book you can get. Not comboed right away. Lowers the price. For all those of you who wanted to read it, obviously didn't want the custom 3D printed button, which is now an additional thing that you can get for more money. It's how the internet works, world. It's how the world works, internet. It's how both of those work. So, it is what it is. Anyhow, I love the soundboard implementation. Soundboard? All these people are here. No! They want to be here. They love being caged up. That's right. Yeah, we put them to work when we need them. Believe you me. If there's one thing that, we can't do is stop from breaking all sorts of stuff here. Excellent. But yes, excellent. It's almost like the show's value has gone up significantly. That's right. And hold on. That's them chiming in now. Management calling as the show continues to get better and better. Keep it down. We're on the phone. What do you want? We're trying to wrap this up and get out of here. We'll tell them it's your idea. Yeah, management, great job. So anyhow, management didn't come up with anything. Everything was entirely our idea. Fine, it was management's idea. We have a new Kickstarter. Management made a Kickstarter with which you can get a book? And one of our custom 3D printed buttons? I mean, a custom 3D printed button that says shite? Oh, well. Now we're talking. You might be saying, stop playing with your buttons. Entertain us like the media entertainer with which you are. Believe you me, if you wanted us to entertain you, then we would start doing entertaining stuff. Whoa, like pushing all of these buttons separately. Excellent. Well, believe you me, consider yourselves entertained. That's right. That's right. But what we need to also do is consider ourselves still needing your money. Yeah, that's how it works, Internet. You know, I mean, we can hang out all day. That's great. But, you know, you can also hang out with us all day. Yeah. It does make for some good times, right? Doesn't matter. What does matter is that we're almost done with our Go Juice, and we'll need to get out of here. So, where's the drum kit? The drum kit is over yonder. Alas, you know, we took we don't want to say we took time off, the Big JC, but we put in some work, some other kind of work. We put in a lot of work. We read and noted and annotated more than we had to finish compiling a variety of stuff that we had been doing, and we still have notes out the wazoo. Okay? We got a variety of things that were undertaken, but as we get back into the swing of things and into the, you know, aspects and nature of what we can provide for entertainment, it's free. Okay? But we have to sell stuff, you know, to maintain that in some degrees. So we do. Or at least to, you know, try and recoup something on the back end. So anyhow, what were we saying? Drum kit, yes. It's over there. We'll play more drums eventually. Got the sticks right here. Bow. But, believe you me, nothing like drumming on a custom 3D button. Ba-dow! And the only way to get one of these bad boys right now is paying more money after you buy the custom book. Signed copy. On Kickstarter. That's right. Book's already done. Button's already made. As soon as it's done, it comes your way. As long as you pay up. I think charges right after the Kickstarter ends. But, I don't know. We'll see. We might not reach all $200 or $99 that we're looking for. How much are we asking for? $299 or $399? I don't know either way. It's probably well beyond our means. But if there's one thing we know, it's if we keep lowering the price eventually, we're going to hit that sweet spot. And we'll just keep making content until we do. Well then, you know, buy it now so that we don't have to worry about it. Bye-bye. You know, like we said, you don't even got to buy any of that. Just go to Amazon.com. Buy any of the quick lunch notes. Give it to a significant other. Give it to your neighbor. Your neighbor loves quick lunch notes. They told us. I don't know. We don't know them, but if you bought it and we get $1 from it, Amazon makes the most, then believe you me, we're all about it. Your neighbor will love it. He'll also want a signed copy of our book. So you should get him one of those. And he wants a copy of all our other books, ironically. Now, we asked him. He told us. Or he didn't, and we're guessing that he does. So get him a signed copy, too. Kickstarter. There you go. Anyhow, yes, we have fulfilled our duty of providing free entertainment. You might be saying, when did it start? Nah, it doesn't matter. It started for us the minute that we showed up and decided to do anything at all. Because, believe you me, there was probably nothing else on for a lot of people to watch. And so they didn't even tune into this. Ah, damn it! Well, alas, we'll get their eyes one day. We'll, trick them or lure them here one way or another. Maybe if we finally get rid of all of the negative energy around this place from that failed last Kickstarter. Takes 3. Then, we'll be good to go from there. And we'll proceed selling and peddling our wares. Let's see, what else is in this? Ah, yes. A study in Old English, linguistical forms. Ah, fantastic. Oh, you got study notes in there? Yeah. It's like a whole book with words and stuff, too. You can buzz it. Even the misspelled words? Finding the typos is like a game. There's at least 6 or 7 that we found. We're sorry. We had to do everything on our own. But we did it. That's right. And we've asked in our success of... Oh, well, our first one was a failure. Doesn't matter. This one, surely. This one's going to be different. Because we want less money. So, there you go. This one's for sure going to succeed, Internet. Surely we won't fail twice in a row. But, believe you me, oh man, we're going to have to stop offering the buttons at all. Oh, I don't know. We'll work the costs in somewhere. We'll figure it out. But, Internet, we have until the end of this month. And we have faith that you're going to need a gift for someone in that time. You're like, I better come up with something. Better knock out Christmas early. My neighbor wants all those books after all. Better get them starting to come in. Then you just start ordering all this, made and stuff like that. Bam! And good to go. So, fantastic. Needless to say, that's about where we sit on it. So, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to posit them as of now. Get an interview on Roe Jogan. Sales will skyrocket. Excellent. If there's one thing that we have been holding out for, it actually was going on Joe Rogan's podcast. But we feel it might be a little beneath us. That's right. We like talking to individuals or groups of people. We don't want to necessarily talk to millions of people and sell millions of copies of our book, because let's be honest, most books only sell 250 copies in their entire life. Okay? Let's work with the facts. Okay? Because we live in a little thing called reality where our Kickstarter fails. And some made up bullshit some dude wanted $15K for got overfunded, and this dude's sitting at like 20 grand. Whatever. All right. Internet. Funny. Here we are working on archaic ancient philosophy and picking up where great thinkers left off. Not you. We didn't say we were a great thinker. We just said we picked up where they left off. It's their thought. We just continued it. Oh, you unoriginal bastard. You're a tracer. No, we had to continue the thought. It doesn't just sit and trace itself. We trace it upon the wording of the pages of this in a monographing of it. So there you go. But as we said, our work's not for everyone. That's why we try and make something for everyone. We've been working with one of our buddies as of late, and we actually have a chapter kids book coming out. It's going to be what it is. It's going to be another offering. And all our offerings aren't for everybody. But for everybody, there may be an offering of sorts. Okay? That's pretty cool, right? No, it wasn't. You just keep showing us all those books you wrote. That's right. Because we're peddling our wares. Like our custom 3D printed button you can get right now on Kickstarter with a signed copy of the monographing. Oh, yeah. We don't want it. Well, then go buy it anyway. People buy stuff they don't want all the time. Live with regret. That's what we do. We regret our last Kickstarter failed. Don't make us live with regret twice. Or do. I don't know. Maybe it'll be funny. But if there's one thing, it'll always be freely available here for you to laugh at us, joke on us, and we'll keep coming back. Whatever. You can't chase us off forever, Internet. Because our mom pays her bills on time usually, and believe you me, we have Internet right now. Excellent. Yes, it was very funny. Laughter is relevant. Go on Joe Rogan, huh? We'll think about it. Maybe someone should start telling Joe Rogan to go on us. Because we, after all, are the philosopher that philosophizes stuff. You know, a lot of philosophers do. But none of them are quite as philosophy-ish as us, right? Because we're that old school philosophus like stuff, right? They don't really have this kind of philosophus anymore. You might say, yeah, they do. It's in academia. But no. It's not in academia. It's right here. We philosophus because we needed to make up a new job. And believe you me, author is, anyone can be an author. Hell, we're an author. But no one goes around saying, I'm a philosopher. So it's not really a job, right? Well, it is to us now, so someone needs to hire us. So tell Joe Rogan he needs someone like a personal guru. That's us. We're like a home chef, only we work from our home, and we'll answer any questions that he has. Believe you me. Whilst we might be a little gimmicky, whilst we might have some jokes that aren't funny. Yes. Laugh it up. That was pretty damn funny, right? No, it wasn't. That was dumb. That was funny. Okay? The point is that we're like home chefs. We work from our home, though. And whilst we might be gimmicky, whilst we might, be rough around the edges, and whilst no one might want us to be in their hire, we are extremely, extremely good at advanced philosophy, and we can quantum meta hypothesize and analyze meta theory very, very, very efficiently and very effectively, and we are very good at it. You might be saying, well, what do you mean when you talk about quantum theorizing and things of that nature? Well, you ask the question that is, and we can usually provide a viable, plausible answer or a solution therein. Okay? Now, some of it might require a little in-depth kind of maneuvering and things of that nature. Some of the questions might come very fast. Some of them might take a little longer with which to elicit. But, picture it like an Ask Jeeves, okay? You can ask anyone to be Ask Jeeves, okay? And most people nowadays use things like artificial intelligence, AI, with which to do stuff, okay? Now, there are components of AI with which we can work and use as well. We just happen to be very, very, very good at it. And we don't say that lightly, okay? That is a very blanketed statement to put on the enter of the net zones, okay? Anyone's good with AI, sure. Now, we are very good with AI. We're better than AI. Because AI is dumb, okay? You might be saying, no, AI is so smart. No, AI is stupid, okay? If you don't recognize that, then therein where you think the unintelligence lies may be a little misdirected. Okay? AI is stupid. It is extremely smart, but all get out. All right? Hands down. Where's that one book that we wrote? Okay? We gotta find it. Our rules of AI, because AI is stupid. Okay? Now, it's smart. AI is very, very smart. There it is. Rules of artificial intelligence. It's in the book. Okay? Rule 1. Artificial intelligence is not your friend. It is friendly. Okay? Keep that in mind as you try and find where to buy our book. Or don't. I don't know. It's up to you. Maybe, you're like, no, this dude's off his rocker. No one's smarter than AI. AI is the most smart thing ever because it is made by man. So yes, continue your whatever. We're pretty good at meta, hypothetical, theory, and quandary. Okay, so that's for whoever to discern or decide if they which decide to discern or whatever. We don't peddle those wares because we offer those wares as a separate endeavor. Okay? That one is not a Kickstarter. We can peddle our wares, we can hang out, we can have fun, we can mention not that which exists in the quantum metaphysical, okay? Right now. Okay? How words leave from our mouth, they get recorded, get put out, get either watched now via a small delay, a little delay, no delay at all, and or a massive delay of minutes, seconds, weeks, days, months, and or years. Okay? If someone watches this and it maintains a status of watchability in some aspect 3 years from now, then even though elements and aspects and components such as a Kickstarter that is currently active, that with which will no longer be, works that Amazon.com does not like, may be adapted, or we may pull it from there so that we can do more with it. Okay, right now, contractually, we are not allowed to. Okay, 90-day contract with it. Okay, for hitting the Amazon Unlimited thing. Okay, there might be changes and alterations in what is available, what is offered, what is out. All right, but the dissemination of this here remains. Okay? So there's a lot of metaphysical stuff that goes on that we don't account for that is a current line of entanglement. Okay? This video will, from here point forward, anyone who sees it, watches it, have a little iota of entanglement to our monographing, to our custom 3D printed buttons, to our shenanigans, to our antics, to our soundboard. Okay? There are components of things that people don't account for that end up being, when you talk about, stuff in the metaphysical realm or anything like that, or anything outside of, dimension 3 with which we reside. All right, if you start playing with all of these pieces that are parts of the puzzle, okay, just because we don't have plasma on our 3D periodic table of elements that reside in this physical constructed world, doesn't mean that plasma doesn't exist. We just watched a re-entry video earlier, if it wasn't manipulated, okay, with which they say that plasma was visible on the, exterior of a craft re-entering, the atmosphere of the Earth. Okay, no matter how you look at it or any component or aspect of it, okay, plasma exists. Okay, so if it's not accounted for in the 3D periodic table of elements that reside in dimension 3, which it is not, okay, then you need to pivot and start looking at other components and aspects of a malleable form of matter with which we have. Okay, we have our little tables and our periodic all-inclusive table of elements and stuff like that that we put on X and Reddit and, whatever. Okay, it's out there. Okay? We don't pursue that of which we don't peddle. We peddle our wares here and we hang out here because we wish to offer this of which, for what it is, always free, never behind a paywall. So that's what it is, and we will peddle our wares and continue to claw and scratch and climb and try and get ones of sales at a time, and we'll fail ones of Kickstarters at a time, and maybe we will get a sale of a book here and there. Maybe someone will buy a copy of something for a stocking stuffer one day. Maybe someone will be like, hey, I know a publisher that is looking to publish a quick little series. You already got 6 of these bad boys available. We could beef it up some, change the layout a little bit. Here's some quick cheese. We'll take your stuff. Bada bow, bow, bow. We just want the money. They can do then with the work what they want and peddle it further. You know, I mean, you never know who knows who or who comes across what. So maybe there is someone out there who's like, hey, you know, I could use 100 copies of this book for something that I'm doing because why not? Yeah, I don't know. You never know. That's why we offer and peddle our wares to those of who wish them to be offered and who accept the peddling thereof. And everything else is just free crap that we do here. So that's pretty much going to do it for us here. We will check, make sure. Most people aspire to be gangster rappers. Excellent. Yes, and that was our first aspiration, of course. As we had many a hit song come out that we would like to think were played around a local pub on quite an occasion and endeavor. But alas, those were our old gangster rapper days, and believe you me, that life is not for everyone. And the minute our mom found out we were living it, she put a quick stop to it and said, you best find Jesus and write a fire and brimstone book. Okay, Mom, we're on it. So we read our Bible, wrote our fire and brimstone. Satan be gone. No, we love Satan. Oh, well, you need to read our book then. Jesus don't like Satan. That's right. They aren't besties. But we can't all be besties. So, ironically though, we can't all buy our Kickstarter book. So, well, unless you can, in which case, nah, don't sweat it. But you can, so maybe you should or shouldn't. But if you want to get out of here before us, now's your chance. We're finishing this and then we're cutting this and getting out of here ourselves because we're done working. Or we got to get back to work. One or the other. Everything's work if you work at it, right? So don't work too hard. Excellent. That's it from us. We don't need your subscription. We want your money. Downvote the shit out of this. Go to Kickstarter and give us $1. Get off our lawn.